they do come together, but the two camps don't necessarily see it that way. That's one of the features about my own visioning, and the idea that we really can come to a oneness of understanding. And can we come to a oneness of working together? Because we are a oneness of being. Does that include a focused masculine intentionality to all of it? Strangely and miraculously, which makes it all good? Even the Buddhites, don't think that is, you know what I mean? They have, that's not coming from their side of it. That's the Jehovahite side. The Christian, you don't really need to understand it if you open your heart. But then, then the Christians start pointing fingers because they think they know it all. You don't know it all. You're just part of it all. You become part of it because it's a real thing, a higher dimension of spirit. Now, the Buddhites understand this from a personal view. The higher dimension of spirit that would have you just believe things and then that's how they are. No, that's crossing some things over. That's if you're Jehovah, maybe that works. I don't know. But it is how you perceive things and it is how you align with things. But then there's the third element of the real world, the material plane, where you crash your car into a wall. You can believe whatever the hell you want. Yeah, you don't have to use a car. Just run into a brick wall and tell me that that's all in your mind. But the idea is that we are in a real situation. But strangely, there's a lot of influences that are not easy to like explain to everybody, but I think I get it. All right, but it's about a lot of all these perspectives are kind of valid. You have to see it from a direct materialist point of view of how does it work chemically, but that's just like that. Well, you want to kill yourself if that's all you're looking at. So then you get to the fact that people do find intrinsic meaning by centering the shamanistic personal path. You can call it whatever you want. You just stop, and that's whatever. I got to like what ended up being high Tibetan Buddhist, pre-Buddhist wisdoms, either by previous lives or the fact that I actually arrived at them in this life in my senior year, but a whole lifetime of really meditating on reality. I think there was previous lives, but you could also explain it from all the influences in this world, and I had kind of an objective perspective on it coming from the Canary Islands, but growing up in New York City right at as the 60s was turned into the early 70s. Take out Jimi Hendrix in my freshman year of high school. I could see the air going out of the whole movement because he was a spiritual leader. People just think of him as a guitarist. He was a visionary and he shared the visions in the music. It's impossible to really say all of it. That's what's still the case. And I don't know. I mean, I had vision in my senior year that's got me understanding how this could work. But I guess I'm talking to myself in the one mind while I gather notes and try to get some allies. And again, eventually this might make sense to more, but it's the idea that we need to work with our higher, we have all these talents, including spiritual visioning, which I've been trying to hone. But the coming together involves our higher values and our higher attributes of being able to do things at a global scale intelligently. But bring it back to meaning, and you get all confused with the postmodernism that doesn't mean anything. That's the materialist point of view. So somehow we have to allow for working back to what each of us really know, but it's hard to bring that into the institutions. So breaking outside of that level of breaking outside of the box, and as I was almost saying, that there were tribes that didn't take it to the ambition of this full understanding of everything. Were content to kind of be be in a niche, in a cultural niche. But somehow, it does progress to where we are now in a natural progression. So the finger pointing is just not useful. And an analysis of what do we need to do next, it might be. And because, we don't want to throw out things. And so trying to understand the real world in materialistic terms, we've made a disconnect with just The religions and the spirit worlds. Okay, well, you can get back to the whole Buddhite, the third version of spirit. First of all, science is finding that mind is a real force outside of the body. I don't have to go over all that, but you can get to it yourself. People understand their own connection to the one mind by meditating and feeling it from within.